Hi everyone, this is Frank Ilo from Afi Design Studios. In today's tutorial, we are going to learn how to create the roof cornice, or what you can call the roof fascia. Take a look at this building on the screen. You will see how magnificent and how beautiful this building looks like. You will quite agree with me that one of the reasons why this building is this beautiful is because of the roof cornice. Roof cornice and the roof itself are like crown on the head of any building. And so, if you as an architect know how to create different designs for roof cornice, I tell you, you have a skill that others would kill to have. Having said that, how can we create roof cornice or roof fascia with Revit? To do that, we first have to go to Revit environment. All right. So can we now jump quickly to our Revit? So this is our Revit environment, and you can see the two buildings we have here. One on the left hand side, one on the right hand side. We are going to use the one on the left as our specimen. All right. So what it now means is that we are going to assume that we have not done the roof of that building, and we've not done the roof cornice as well. For us to imagine that properly, we are going to delete them. All right. So first, I will delete the roof. I would also delete the roof cornice. So we are left with the walls alone. And it is at this stage that you are supposed to introduce your roof cornice. So how do you do just that? To do that, you have to go to your project browser first and foremost and identify the level, the very level where you want the roof cornice to sit at or to be located. All right. So I will now go to my project browser. I want this very roof cornice to be situated at level 4, which I also call my roof level. So we're going to go to 04 roof and double click on it. It will now bring us to this very level. So this is the plan we are working with. All right. The next thing I have to do is go to architecture, click on architecture, then I will come to components, then click on this small arrow pointing downwards. Click on the arrow, then I'm going to select model in place. All right. The next thing I'm going to do is just to click OK here, and I'll click OK again. All right. After doing this, it is now time for me to select if I want to use extrusion or sweep or any other kind of modeling pattern. But I'm going to select sweep. I'm not going to use extrusion because for something like this, extrusion will not work perfectly. All right. But with sweep, you can design any complex shape. Let me state here that for extrusion, you are limited. You are limited with the kind of shape you can create. But with sweep, you can create any shape, no matter how complex. So I click on sweep here. Then I'm going to come here. I either select sketch path or I select, what's it called, pick path. But for this very exercise, I'm going to select sketch path. Then it is time for me to draw. But this is where many architects get confused. At this point, now, if you look at this building, this is the building we're talking about. I can start drawing from any of these sides, the right hand side, the back side, the left hand side, or the front sides. These 4 different sides, I can start from any one of them. But there's something you must take note of. You see this right hand side, it is straightforward. All right. I can easily start on this side so that when it is time for me to sketch the cross section, I will not have any obstruction blocking my view. All right. Now, take for example this very side, the left hand side, we have contoured walls that are not on the same alignment. This one, you can see this one is the outermost one, followed by this one, and followed by this. So they are not, this side is not on a straight line. So which means to say, if I should pick this very line to draw, all right, depending on where the section I want to stand, depending on where I want to stand to draw my section for the roof cornice. If I am standing on the front elevation to draw that, I will not have any obstruction because there is no wall here blocking me. But if I take the back view, if I stand on the back view, you can see automatically that this section is blocking this wall. So in a nutshell, do not mind all this English I'm speaking, but in a nutshell, if you want to start your drawing, draw on a wall side that is free from what is it called now, that is free from undulation, that is free from depression. Choose a line or a wall side that is free, that is straight. You can see this one is straight, that is the right hand side. You can see the back side is also straight. You may not understand what I'm saying now, but you will understand it when it is time for us to draw the section of this roof cornice. So, having said all this, let me start my drawing now. So I'm going to pick from this very line. I'll go this way. Also take note that the line or the side where you started the drawing from is where Revit would ask you to stand in order to draw the section of your roof cornice. When I say stand, I'm talking about imaginary standing, because when a time will come when you are supposed to stand here, like now that I drew this on this very line, when it is time for me to draw the section of this very roof cornice, I will imagine or assume myself standing here looking at this wall at a perpendicular level. All right, so let me continue. So I go like this, I go like this, I go like this. You are going to go around the building. I go like this and like this and like this, and I'll come here and end it. Once I've ended it, I'm now going to hit this green check here, finish edit mode. I click on it. Then the next thing is the main thing. Now it is time for us to draw the section of this very roof cornice. At this point, we are going to come here. You see here where you have edit profile. Click on this edit profile. It is now going to bring out this dialog box. Just pay attention to this. It is telling you now that you have elevations. Front elevation, which is the approach elevation. You have the rear elevation. You have the section 1 and section 3. These 4 different options given to you are the options that it is possible for you to stand and draw the section of your roof cornice. It is now left for you to say, out of these 4 options, which one would be easier for me? Which one will give me a clear view of the section? Which one would not present an obstruction before my eyes as I draw the section? For me, because I already chose a wall side where there is no obstruction, if I select approach, I will still see the section clearly. If I still select rear elevation, I will still see it clearly. All right. So, but for this class, I am going to select the approach elevation, which is my front elevation. It is already highlighted. You can see the blue background. Then what I need to do now is to click on open view. Once I click on open view, now look at what I'm saying. Now I can see these red dots. These red dots is where you must begin from. And this is the front of the building. Remember when I told you that you have to assume or imagine that you are standing in front of the building. So imagine that I am standing here now. All right. So this is the time for me to draw the section of my roof cornice, depending on the kind of design I have in my mind. What is the design I want to give it? So I would, at this point, go to AutoCAD. Okay. On this AutoCAD, you can see this. This is exactly what we are saying. Forget about all the talk we have been talking all this while. This is the section of the roof cornice I want to design. So your own may be curved one, it may be a triangular one, it may be a circular one. It depends on you. But first, you must have the picture of the section of your roof cornice. So this is mine. Now, if you take it from here, this roof cornice is 300. From this tip to this tip is 300. And from here to here is 600, excluding the beam. All right, this is the parapet itself, 600 by 300. So I would assume that this step here is 750, and this one here is 750, and this one is 150. 75, sorry, 75 plus 75 is 150. Then another 150, that gives you this 300 here. All right, and we have from here to be 600. So what do we assign to these steps here? Let's just assume that this step from here to here is 100, from here to here is 100. Okay, remember that the height is 75, 75, 150. So if from here to here is 100 and from here to here is another 100, which means from here to here would be 400, because the overall is 600. All right, I hope we're getting it. So let's go back. So it is time for us to start to draw based on what we saw there. So I'm going to come here, click on these points. I will go like this and type 100 and press enter. I will now go up. I type another, this time around 75. Take notes, 75. I press enter. I go to my right. I type again 100. I press enter, and I go up again, and this time I will say 75. I press enter. Then I go to my right again, this time 400. I press enter. Then I go up. Remember that this is 150. Press enter. Then I'm going to bring it here. I terminate it here and bring it down here and click here. Then I press escape twice. But do you know that this something is still remaining? This is just the parapet itself. It is time for us to create the beam, the roof beam that will be on top of the wall. Because if you look at this, this is outside the wall, and there is no how your parapet can be hanging. It must be supported by the roof beam. So for this building, the thickness of my walls are 150 mm. So I'm going to go to offset. Please follow my cursor. I go to offset here, click on offset. I'm going to type, see offset again inside here. Once you click on this offset, it's going to show you this offset here, where you're going to click inside it and erase whatever you have there and type 150, which is the thickness of my wall. If it is 225 wall or 230 wall, type that same value. Then I bring it here and touch it on this very vertical line until the dotted line, the blue dotted line, is on the left. That is only when I'm going to click. But if it's on the right, it is on the wrong place. So make it to be on the left hand side before you click. Then I click here. Once I have clicked there, I'll go to trim here. Follow my cursor, please. Click on trim. I'll click on this vertical one on the left hand side. I click on this horizontal one at the bottom. Then I have to get the height of my beam, the roof beam. in most cases is 225. Some even make theirs 1 foot, which is 300 mm. But for this class, I'm going to make this very one 225. So I'll go back to offset, click on offset, come inside here again and wipe this one off, type 225. Then I bring it down here on the horizontal line and offset. After doing this, it is time to trim off. I go to trim again, click on trim, click on this place and click on this place. I click on this place and click on this place. I have my parapet with my roof beam in place. Now, you may decide not to have it vertical here. You may decide not to have it straight or vertical like you have it here. Just like, look at the one we have in AutoCAD. It is quite slanted. You can see it is slanted here. And I believe this was done because of the tie beam, and the wall plates. So we are going to do the same thing in our own. So instead of having it like this, then I will decide to click here and slant it. You can use any angle of your choice. It can be 45 degrees, it can be 30, but I'm not going to go into that one for this lesson. I'll just use any angle at all and slant it. Once I've slanted it, I must trim it off. Go to trim, click on this side and click on this side. Then press escape twice. This standing line here, click on it and delete it. Delete. So we have something similar with what we have in AutoCAD. Alright, so we are done with the sketching now. Go to this green check button, click on it. Once you click on it, the next thing you are going to do is to click on it again. But now you have to also assign material to it. For all my parapets or all my roof cornices, permit me to call it parapet because that is what we'll call it over here. We'll call it parapets. So for all my parapets, they come in white color. Yours may be another color, but this is the time for you to assign a color or a material to it. So I go here under my properties, come here, position your cursor here. This scroll bar will come out. Scroll down. You will see where it is written material. Click on this by category. When you click on it, 3 dotted line will appear by the side of it. Click on those 3 dotted line and give it time to load. So it will bring out this point for you, this position for you. You are not going to select any material from amongst this one, but to save my time, I'm going to come to this open space here. Click here and type GYP, abbreviation for gypsum wallboard. All right, it's going to bring this. So why did I type? You may be asking, why did I type GYP? I just typed the first 3 words that starts the material. That is just logic, so you don't get confused. So this one will appear. I now select one of them, click on this, and I come here and say OK. I give it time again. It is loaded already. So I come here on this green check button, click on it, and I am done. Our parapet is ready. So this is our parapet. Let's go to 3D view, default 3D view. Default 3D view will show you this. I want us to go to 3D view itself to see what that parapet or roof cornice has done to our building. So click here. You can see this is what we have. This is what we have. This is our parapets. So, but you're not going to leave it like this. The next thing you're going to do is to add your roof on top of it. So to add the roof on top of it, we are still going back to project browser and we'll go back to level 4, which is roof level. Double click on that. Then it is time for you to go to architecture here. Click on architecture. Then go to roof. Click on roof. Then come here under draw. Click on pick lines. Click on pick lines. Come here. You see offset here. Click inside the offsets and type 50. This 50 is the projection of my roof from my parapets. I hope you get that. Your roof is not supposed to terminate on top of the parapet. If not, it will be pouring water on the parapet and it will mess it up. Not just messing it up, water may seep into your ceiling. So I normally project 50 mm out of the parapet. So having done this, I will now bring this my cursor down here to the line, this line. You can zoom it to see what you are doing so that you don't make any mistake. Zoom it closer, then click. You'll see it is 50 millimeters away from the parapet. I do the same thing here. Then the same thing here. You are going to go around the building with this same exercise. Do the same thing here. Do the same thing here. And come to this right hand side and do the same thing here. So after doing this, the reason why I run away from using pick line. So after doing this, you make sure you go close to see if there's any line that is intersecting with each other. If there is none, then you can go ahead. But if there are some lines intersecting, make sure you use the trim tool, to trim it off. All right, so you can see all my edges are not intersecting. So because they're not intersecting, I'm going to come here to the green check button, click on it. All right, so the next thing I'm going to do is to click on the outside or click on modify to end the command. I click on modify here. Then if you go to default 3D view, this is all we have here. This is all we have here. Do not mind this roof. We are going to change the roof material now. So I'm going to click on this roof material. Then I'll come here. I click here. I already have some roof materials I've saved here. You may not have. So if you don't have, you can go to the library and select a material. So I select this very one. It's a black roof. Then I click on the outside. You can see my roof is there. But you can see that my roof is going down below the parapet. That is because we created this roof on the roof level. What we would have done, we would have offsetted this roof by 300 mm because the thickness of the parapet is 300 mm. We would have offsetted it 300 mm above the parapet so that it would sit on top of the parapet. But since we did not do that, there's another way to go about it. Just go to project browser and go to your front elevation, which is the approach elevation. Double click on it. It will bring you to this point. Now look at what I was talking about. You can see that this roof is below the parapet, but it is not a problem. Just click on the roof and go to move. The move tool here. Click on move. What I normally do, I don't normally click on anywhere. I come to an intersection or a junction like this. Click on this place and just move it. Make sure it didn't shake your hand. Make sure it is in alignment and bring it here. Once it gets to this point at the top of the parapet, I click. Then it will move and stay there. Then click on the outside and that is it. All right. So if you go here now, this is what we have. And if we go to 3D view, this is what we have. All right. So, but some people may not want this roof like this. For me, I like my roof to be high. I don't like roofs that are low as this one. So what do? You can correct it from here, from this 3D view, or you can also go to default 3D view, or even on your elevations, you can still correct it. All right. So, but let me go to elevation here. Approach. I go to my approach elevation. I click on this roof now. Then I'm going to come here. You can see under properties. Go to this scroll bar here. Just once you put your cursor here, this scroll bar will appear. Then scroll down. You will see the slope. it is 30 degrees. So, but if you make this 45 now, you will see how high this is going to go. Make it 45 and press enter and go. You can see it now. You can see how high the roof has become, and it looks more balanced as far as I'm concerned. This is what I normally do with my designs. But if you feel it is not your kind of thing, you don't like high roof, you want it to be flat, click on it again and go to the same location where you have slope. Click inside this place and type, let's say 15 and click apply, and take your cursor outside. Click on the outside. You can see how flat but ugly. Flat but ugly. So that's it. Let me go back to what I am known for. This is my thing. All right. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you really did, please do recommend this channel to your friends. Like our posts, like our videos, and ultimately subscribe to our channel. We love you. We appreciate you. We thank you for your time, and do have a great day. Thank you.